Lust has been shaping the architecture of your inner world long before you ever recognized your own potential. It didn't start the day you felt desire. It began long before you had the language to describe it. Before we dive into the secrets of semen retention power, make sure you subscribe now and join our Telegram family. The link's in the description. Don't miss the exclusive insights and daily motivation that will keep your energy, focus, and discipline unstoppable. Your success journey starts today. Most men mistake lust for a momentary spark, something triggered by beauty, curves, imagery, fantasies. But the spark is an illusion. Beneath it lives a deeper psychological mechanism, a subtle force that influences your behaviors from the shadows. Jung described the shadow not as a monster, but as the unexamined aspects of your psyche. Lust belongs to that terrain. It hides in your unconscious, shaping your desires while keeping you unaware of the programming happening underneath. Lust isn't about sex. Sex is the surface-level expression. The real hunger behind lust is stimulation, validation, and escape. It's the compulsion to silence boredom and numb discomfort with quick dopamine. Every time you give in unconsciously, you strengthen the identity of the weaker version of yourself. The version that chooses impulse over intention. The version that trades future potential for instant relief. Every leak tells your subconscious a story. That the craving mattered more than the mission. That the urge mattered more than destiny. And those stories accumulate until your identity bends around them. When the lover archetype loses discipline, it mutates. It stops uplifting you and starts sabotaging you. It disrupts your momentum, your routines, your disciplines, not through destruction, but through seduction. Lust doesn't shatter your empire. It dissolves it slowly. It erodes your patience. It erodes your boredom tolerance. It erodes your resilience. It rewires you to reach for stimulation every time life becomes quiet. Entire generations of men are falling silently because of this slow erosion. Their strength isn't stolen loudly. It is siphoned quietly through countless small decisions that feel harmless. The shadow thrives in secrecy. It persuades you that because no one sees your weakness, the weakness doesn't matter. But the deepest harm happens within, where you carve grooves in your psyche that normalize surrender. Weakness becomes routine. Routine becomes identity. Identity becomes destiny. A man stops aiming for greatness, not because he lacks potential, but because he has internalized the habit of collapsing. You stop being the warrior. You stop being the king. You evolve into the archetype of the addict, someone who defends his own cage because comfort feels safer than transformation. Modern culture makes this even harder. The digital world is designed to keep men overstimulated and underdeveloped. Free dopamine everywhere. Algorithms trained to consume your attention. Lust normalized as harmless entertainment. The system is never threatened by lust-driven men. They are predictable, reactive, and easily manipulated. But the world is terrified of a man who controls his sexual power, who isn't pulled by craving, who isn't broken by pressure. To become that man, you must confront your shadow. Not escape it, not suppress it. Drag it into consciousness. Look at it plainly. Admit the pattern. Transformation begins with ruthless honesty. Your shadow has been scripting your behaviors for years. The relapses, the cravings, the needless impulses, they aren't random. They're the result of a script written long ago, still running unchallenged. Retention is the moment you seize the pen back. It marks the beginning of psychological rebellion. Not denial of sexuality, but the restructuring of it. A reclamation of authority. Most men never reach this inner battlefield because the confrontation requires silence. Stillness and discipline, three things overstimulated men avoid. But this is where transformation begins. Choosing retention means choosing to stop leaking identity. It means choosing to communicate to your subconscious that power matters more than escape. Future matters more than impulse. This is the shift from survival mode to kingdom mode. Your body stops feeling like a restless machine and becomes a disciplined vessel. Your mind stops scattering energy and begins consolidating it. You feel the change. Focus becomes razor sharp. Patience grows. Confidence becomes quiet but solid. Presence becomes heavier, more grounded. Your energy stops leaking outward. It condenses inward. It becomes gravity. People feel it without knowing why. You occupy space instead of chasing attention. Jung's idea of individuation, the unification of your inner archetypes, becomes real here. Most men are fragmented. Their king wants direction. Their lover wants chaos. Their warrior wants discipline. Their magician is lost in noise. Retention restores the king to the throne. Suddenly, your psyche has a hierarchy again. Order replaces chaos. The warrior begins to train for purpose. The magician gains clarity. The lover inspires without sabotaging. You stop being scattered. You become internally integrated. You develop a psychological structure that makes you resilient, stable, and intentional. Women feel the difference instantly. Not because you're performing confidence, but because you're radiating stability. You're no longer broadcasting thirst, hunger, or emotional leakage. You're not chasing validation. Your presence becomes enough. You become a gravitational force, something people feel drawn to even if they don't understand the mechanism behind it. Retention doesn't eliminate temptation, it transforms it. Temptation becomes resistance training. Each moment your discipline holds, your identity strengthens. Each time you choose mission over impulse, your leadership expands. Most men collapse under the smallest emotional discomfort. Their attention is scattered, their discipline weak, their emotional bandwidth tiny. They lose the internal war before it starts. You grow in the opposite direction. You become a man who responds instead of reacts, who chooses intention over impulse, who uses pressure as fuel instead of escape. This is how you become strategically immune to manipulation. If your urges no longer control you, no one can weaponize them against you. You become ungovernable by temptation. You stop chasing. You start magnetizing. You stop trying to prove. You start embodying. An embodiment is infinitely more influential than performance. You are not untouchable because you are perfect. You are untouchable because you are self-directed. You become a man with an inner compass, stronger than external noise. Psychological neutrality immerses a calm core that isn't shaken by emotions or external pressure. You become harder to rush, harder to bait, harder to pull off your path. You enter a tier of masculinity, rare in the modern world, not because the principles are complex, but because commitment is rare. Retention refines you into someone the world isn't prepared to manipulate. This is not monk energy. This is king energy. Kings don't give away their fire before battle. They preserve it. They direct it. They strategize with it. You retain because the man you will become needs your current discipline. You retain because destiny demands sacrifice. You retain because chaos no longer deserves to rule you. Retention is not the absence of life, it's the presence of leadership over your inner world. It is the foundation of mastery, influence, clarity, and psychological sovereignty. Your identity transforms subtly but powerfully. You stop identifying as someone struggling against lust and start identifying as someone who stands above it. The shadow that once controlled you becomes integrated, understood, transformed from a weakness into a tool blade, sharpened by discipline. Temptation becomes the arena where you practice dominance over yourself. Each moment of resistance builds your internal empire brick by brick. Your emotional resilience grows. Your nervous system stabilizes. You become a man capable of holding pressure without collapsing into escape or chaos. You evolve into a leader of your impulses, a ruler of your internal realm, a man with direction instead of distraction, structure instead of scatter. This internal transformation radiates into every aspect of your life, your ambition, your creativity, your relationships, your confidence, your presence. People feel it. They can't always articulate it, but they sense something different. You walk with purpose. You think with clarity. You act with intention. You become a presence instead of an echo. The fractured version of you dissolves. A unified version emerges, a man who governs himself instead of serving cravings. This unity becomes your edge in every domain. If this video charged your internal battery, please show some love. Give this a quick like and subscribe to make sure you never miss an energy upgrade. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. The shadow no longer dictates your fate. It becomes integrated, rechanneled, converted into fuel. You are no longer governed by cravings or conditioned patterns. You have rewritten the script. The pen is finally in your hands. The internal war turns into internal order. Chaos becomes hierarchy. Impulse becomes intention. This is the path of becoming Indeceptor, self-governed, self-forged, self-mastered, a man prepared for his great work. A man who understands that if he seeks peace, he must be prepared for war.